All praises to the Creator. This is not going to be a long video, but I just wanted to let your eyes see for yourself. Because I was watching Sister Judith Israel's video, and she was saying that if they could infiltrate everything and change it so we can keep sending, they will. This is the Dead Sea Scrolls, and you see how they added the God, even though it says in the Dead Sea Scrolls we ain't supposed to be using it. They added the LORD and the God and all that kind of stuff. They did that. They did that already. So, yeah, they literally tells you in the Dead Sea Scrolls don't do it, and then they turned around and did it. So, we have to have eyes to see, and we have to ask y'all to open our eyes, and I'm gonna show you that right here. So where did I just get to reading that? About opening eyes. He was asking, here it is right here. So see where I'm dotting at right there. Hear now, my sons, I will uncover your eyes that you may see and understand the works of the Creator Yah, that you may choose that which pleases him and reject that which he hates. So hate just mean reject. So they making you think it's a bad thing to hate. You got to reject. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. We ain't supposed to be doing that. That you may walk perfectly in all his ways. You can walk perfectly in all his ways. They taught us we can't. Not follow after thoughts of the guilty inclinations and after the eyes of lust. For through them great men have gone astray, and mighty heroes have stumbled from former times to now, because they walked in stubbornness of their heart, and the heavenly watchers fell. So the watchers fell. The heavenly watchers even fell because they walked in the heart of their stubbornness. They were caught because they did not keep the commandments of the Creator Yah. And their sons also fell, who were tall as cedar trees. That's when he calls the cedar trees. Who are he talking about? And whose bodies were like mountains. All flesh on dry land perished. They were as though they had never been, because they did their own will and did not keep the commandments of their Maker, so that his wrath was kindled against them. Through it, the children of Noah went astray, together with their kin, and were cut off. Abraham did not walk in it, and he was accounted a friend to the Creator Yah. And because he kept the commandments of the Creator Yah, and did not choose his own will, and he handed them down to Isaac and to Jacob, who kept them, and were recorded as friends of the Creator Yah, and the party to the covenant forever. So they had the commandments, and the accordance with their error. And in accordance with their error, and their sons in Egypt walked in the stubbornness of their hearts, conspiring against the commandments of the Creator Yah, and each of them doing that which seemed right in their own eyes. They had it. They had the commandments, y'all. I just showed you that in another video, but I just want you to see this with your own eyes. They ate blood. He cut off their males in the wilderness, and at Kadesh, and he said to them, "Go up and possess the land." Deuteronomy 9:23. But they chose their own will and did not heed the voice of their Maker, the commands of their teacher, but murmured in their tents. And the anger of the Creator Yah was kindled against their congregation. Through it their sons perished, and through it the kings were cut off. Through it their mighty heroes perished, and through it the land was ravished through the sword. because they forsook the covenant of the Creator and chose their own will and walked in stubbornness of their hearts, each of them doing his own will. But with the remnant which has held fast to the commandments of the Creator, he made his covenant with Israel forever, revealing to them the hidden things in which all Israel had gone astray. He unfolded before them his holy Sabbaths, his glorious feasts, the testimonies of his righteousness, and the ways of his truth, and the desire of his will, which a man must do in order to live. And they dug a well rich in water, and he who despises it shall not live. If you despise this well right here, you shall not live. Yet they wallowed in the sin of man and in the ways of uncleanness. And they said, this is our way. But the Creator Yah, in his own wondrous mystery, forgave. I lost my place. Forgave them their sins and pardoned their wickedness. And he built them a sure house in Israel, whose like is never existed from the former times until now. Those who held fast are destined to live forever, and all glory of Adam shall be theirs. Now let me see. I wanted to show you. He told them that if he doesn't want you, he'll use Baal to lead you away. I want to show you that one. Where is it at? Ooh, Where's the web? It should be over here somewhere, right here, because here I think is. It says, I think it's, for in ancient times Moses and Aaron rose by the hand of the Prince of Lights, and Baal in his cunning raised up Janus and his brother when Israel was first delivered. So where were they at? So we see the Prince of Lights, Baal, Janus, and his brother when Israel was delivered. At the time of dissolution, the land that arose, removers of the bound, were led astray. Now, y'all were led astray. Let me see. Can I find the one where he says that when if he don't want you around, he will lead you away with Baal. Just gonna find that one. And then if you want to pause this and read it, you can. It says that their wine is a venom serpent, cruel poison, head of the asp. I got you drinking something you shouldn't be drinking. Where did I read that at? If he doesn't want you around, he will lead you away. With Baal, he will allow Baal to lead you away. That's what I'm trying to find right now. But even the price of death, a man shall fulfill no vow but which he has sworn to depart from the law. So let me see. See if I find that one. Dirty water. Let's see if it's down here. I read a lot of this, so I'm trying to find it for you. Like I said, this is not going to be a long video. And this is why I tell you that if you can't see this, if he don't open your eyes, then to the truth, then he don't want you. And I'm not judging you, because that's you did whatever you did. That's between you and Yah. He know what you did. He know everything that everybody did. Nobody's getting away with nothing. Anything that I did, I have to ask for forgiveness for anything that I did in the past. That I was thinking that it was right, and I have to go and repent. Let me see, can I find it? Maybe it's up here at the top. Maybe I skipped over it. I seem to remember it being at the bottom, but it might not even be at the bottom. It might be in the middle of something. Neither they nor their kin shall have any part in the house of the law if they do what? Because our inheritance is the law, and thus shall it be for all among the first and the last who reject the precepts, who set idols upon their hearts and walk in the stubbornness of their own hearts. They shall have no share in the house of the law. They shall be judged in the same manner as their companions were judged who deserted to the scoffers, for they have spoken wrongly against the precepts of righteousness. Y'all can't be speaking against these precepts, and have made in the land of Damascus. Neither they nor their kin shall have any part in the house of the law, from the day of the gathering in of the teacher of the community until the end of all men of war who desert to the liar. Who is the liar? Because that's capitalized. There shall pass about 40 years. Deuteronomy 2:14. During that age, the wrath of the Creator Yah shall be kindled against Israel. And he said, there shall be no king, no prince, no judge, no man to rebuke with justice. Hosea 3:4. But those who turn from the sin of Jacob, who keep the covenant of the Creator Yah, shall then speak each man to his fellow, to justify each man his brother. Do y'all see this? I've been telling y'all this exact thing. So you can get you get a righteous judgment. This justify right here can go both ways. Let me see. Shall then speak each man to his fellow, to justify each man his brother, and their step may take the way of the Creator Yah. And the Creator Yah will heed their words and will hear. And a book of reminders shall be written before him of them that fear the Creator Yah and worship his name, against the time when salvation and righteousness shall be revealed to them that fear the Creator Yah. And then shall you distinguish once more between just and the wicked, between one that serves the Creator Yah and one that serves him not. Malachi 3:18. And he will show loving kindness to thousands, to them that love him and watch for him for 1,000 generations. Exodus 2:6. And every member of the house of separation who went out of the holy city and leaned on the Creator Yah at the time when Israel sinned and defiled the temple, but returned again to the way of the people in small matters, shall be judged according to his spirit in the council of the holiness. But when the glory of the Creator Yah is made manifest to Israel, all those members of the covenant who have breached the bound of the law shall be cut off from the midst of the camp, and with them all those who condemned Judah in the days of the trial. But all those who hold fast to these precepts, going and coming in accordance with the law, who heed the voice of the teacher and confess before the Creator Yah. Do you have eyes to see, y'all? Do you have ears to hear, y'all? Do you have a mouth that confess? So, y'all, I've been saying this for a year, and that was Yah pouring into me, because now I'm reading this, and Yah's been telling me to say these things. Y'all have to know this is Yah telling me to say this stuff. Truly, we have sinned, we and our fathers, but walking counter to the precepts of the covenant, because the precepts is the covenant. The law is the covenant. That's our inheritance. The laws will help you live. That's what makes you live, the law. If you follow these things, you shall live. Let's go. Let me finish show it to you. I'm going to use the Amplified version. Now let's use the Stone Edition to knock. Let's go Ezekiel. No, let's do Amplified, so I can show you something real quick. Because the reason I know certain things, y'all had me read Amplified first. So let's go. In the 7th year, in the 5th month, and on the 10th of the month, after being of exile in Babylon, certain of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Creator and sat down before me. So this is after exile, y'all. All these things are happening at the same time. Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, all this stuff is happening at the same time, but they're the witnesses. So they're the witnesses. So he had to pour into all of them so they can be witnesses against what they done. So all the elders. So there's still people in the temple. There's still people doing things. There's still people doing it. But he tells you in Micah 7, they're wicked. He said, of the best of them, they're a thorn. The best of them, they're a thorn. So they're still in the temple doing stuff and all that kind of stuff, but they're doing the wicked pen of the scribe stuff, which is in Jeremiah. And you can also find it in Isaiah too. They said that they wrote down things of their will, not what God told them to do. So that's precept upon precept. You got to do that, y'all. So certain of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Creator and sat down before him. Now, do you understand that if they had access to y'all, why do they got to go find somebody to talk to y'all? Do y'all ever, do you read this and realize they don't have access to y'all? And have you ever asked the question why they don't have access to y'all? They got to go find somebody that does have access to y'all? Think about it. Huldah, they had to go find her. They had to go find Deborah, because those other people didn't have access to y'all. Y'all said they were prophesying of their own thoughts, of their own heart, not from what y'all said. See, I think about stuff like that. Why, if they were truly of Yah, why did they have to go find somebody to talk to the Creator Yah? You see what I'm saying now? Think about Samuel. Think about Saul. So you got to put all these things together. Yah is giving you an example. David, when David messed up, he was still praying to the Creator Yah, and Yah heeded his prayers. Joshua praying to the Creator Yah, he heeded his prayer. Saul did not Do what Yah said, and he started complaining. He hardened his heart and stood 10 toes down on what he was doing that was wicked, which is going to get animals to slaughter them. And when Yah told us never to do that, he wanted the bulls of our mouth. And he did it because the people told him he should do it, instead of listening to what Yah said. Okay, so he what did Saul do? Saul went and inquired to somebody who can get to the spiritual realm, because he was cut off. David said, please don't take your Holy Spirit away from me. Please don't take it away from me. Don't take your Ruach HaKodesh away from me. Same thing happened with these people. They ain't got no Ruach on them. The Spirit ain't on them. So Yah is not talking to them. So they got to go find somebody that Yah is talking to. So they went and hunted down Ezekiel. Then they came. They sat down before Ezekiel and y'all, let me calm down, because if you knew how I see this. Then came the word of the Creator Yah to me, saying, Son of man, speak to the elders of Israel and say to them, thus says the Creator Yah, our power. Have you come to inquire of me? As I live, says the Creator Yah, our power, I will not be inquired by you. Will you judge them, son of man? Will you judge them? Then make them know accurately and understand fully the repulsive acts of their fathers, and say to them, thus said the Creator Yah power, on the day when I chose Israel and lifted up my hand and swore to the descendants of the house of Jacob, and made myself, that's capitalized, known to them in the land of Egypt, or Mitzrayim, when I swore to them, saying, I am the Creator, I am the authority, and your power. On that day, I swore to them to bring them out of the land of Egypt into a land that I had selected for them, plentiful and flowing with milk and honey, a land which is an ornament and a glory to all lands. It's the best land of all lands. Then I said to them, let every man throw away the detestable things on which he feasts his eyes. Do not defile yourself with the idols of Egypt. I am the authority, your power. But they rebelled against me and were not willing to listen to me. They did not throw away the detestable things on which they feasted their eyes. Nor did they give up the idols of Egypt. Then I decided to pour out my wrath on them and finish my anger against them in the land of Egypt. But I acted for my name's sake. Why? If you go to the book of Psalms, you'll see that Moses talked him out of doing it, unaliving all of them. And he begged for time for us. So y'all, that it would not be profane in the sight of the pagan nations among whom they live, in whose sight I might made myself known to them by bringing them out of the land of Egypt. So I made them leave the land of Egypt and brought them into the wilderness. I gave them my statutes and explained my art. He said, I explained my ordinance to them, which if a man keeps it, he will live. Let me show you how many times he's going to say this. That's why I'm going to read the whole thing. I also gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know without any doubt, people, that I am the authority who sanctifies them, separates, and set them apart. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They did not walk in my statutes, and they despised and rejected my ordinance, which if a man keeps it, he will live. And they greatly profaned my Sabbaths. Then I decided to pour out my wrath on them in the wilderness to annihilate them. But I acted for my namesake, that it would not be profane in the sight of the pagan nations in whose sight I had brought them out of slavery. I also swore to them in the wilderness that I would not bring them into the land which I had given them, a land of plenty, flowing with milk and honey, which is the ornament and the glory of all lands, because they rejected my ordinance. And as for my statutes, they did not walk in them. They even profaned my Sabbaths, for their heart continually went after the worthless idols. Yet my eyes looked on them with compassion and spared them instead of destroying them, and I did not annihilate them in the wilderness. But I said to their children in the wilderness, do not walk in the statutes of your fathers, nor observe their ordinance, nor defile yourself with their idols. I am the authority, your power. Walk in my statutes and keep my orders and observe them. Sanctify my Sabbaths and keep them holy. And they shall be a sign between me and you, that you may, without a doubt, may know without any doubt that I am the authority, your power. Yet your children rebelled against me. They did not walk in my statutes, nor were they careful to observe my ordinance, which if a man keeps it, he'll live. That's the third time. They profane my Sabbath. Then I decided to pour out my wrath on them and finish my anger against them in the wilderness. Yet I withdrew my hand and acted for my namesakes, that it would not be profaned in the sight of the pagan nations, in whose sight I had brought them out of slavery. Moreover, I swore to them in the wilderness that I would scatter them among the Gentiles. He was told we were going to get scattered dead. He told us we was going to get scattered dead. He told them in the wilderness, y'all going to get scattered. And disperse them among the countries, because they had not observed my ordinances, but had dishonored and rejected my statutes, and had profaned my Sabbaths, and set their eyes on man-made idols of their fathers. Therefore I also gave them statutes that were not good, ordinance by which they could not live. And I pronounced them unclean because of their offerings to their idols, in that they made all their firstborns pass through the fire as a pagan sacrifice, so that I might make them desolate, in order that they might know without a doubt that I am the Creator, Yah. I am the authority. I am the powerful. So he said, therefore, Son of Man, speak to the house of Israel and say to them, thus says the Creator Yah, your power. Again, in this your fathers have blasphemed him. What is blaspheming him? They done changed his name and everything. Add it to and take it away. In that they acted faithlessly and treacherously against me. How? They done told you supposed to be doing this and doing that. They're blaspheming his name every day. Calling him out his name, saying he told us it's okay to eat this and kill this and do this. Do y'all know that I realized this morning that when they write in there that we supposed to be doing sacrifice, my eyes open to the fact that when they tell us to do that, and we go and unalive those animals and do that ritual, and then we give it to our priests, and then they eat it, that we are in the helping of them sinning. You see that? So I don't know if you see it like I did. And we got to repent for even saying it was okay for them to do that. It was not. But when I had brought them out in the land and swore to give to them, they saw every hill and every dark and leafy tree as a place for idol worship. And they offered their sacrifices, and they presented their offering to provoke me with anger. So they were sacrificing and offering, and it provoked them to anger, because he didn't tell them to sacrifice. He said, I never told you this. Let's go. So in the wilderness, y'all, they were sacrificing, and they provoked him to anger. They also did what? They also made their sweet smelling aroma and their poured out their drink offerings. And I said to them, what is the high places to which you go? So the name of it is called Bahama, high place of this day. So y'all see what he did? He said, they made me angry by their sacrifices. They offered sacrifices and presented their offerings that provoked me. He said, y'all made me angry about it. Let's go up here. What was I about to do before I got all upset? I'm sorry, I had to calm down for a second because I got upset. It got me upset. Amos 5. Seek me that you may live. Hear this word which I take up for you as a funeral song, O house of Israel. She has fallen. She will not rise again, O virgin Israel. She lies neglected on her land. On her land. We own our land. There is no one to raise her up. For thus says the Creator, Yah. The city was going forth 1,000 strong, will have 100 left, and then the one which goes forth 100 strong, there will have 10 left to the house of Israel. Now, this is a future one. In my book, it says this is the last call. This is the last one. For thus says the Creator Yah, the city which goes forth 1,000 strong will have 100 left, and the one that which goes 100 strong will have 10 left in the house of Israel. For thus says the Creator Yah to the house of Israel, seek me, search diligently for me, and regard me as more essential than food, so that you may live. But do not resort to Bethel to worship the golden calf, nor enter idolatrous Gilgal, nor cross over to Beersheba and its idols. For Gilgal will certainly go into captivity and exile, and Bethel will come to nothing. Seek the Creator Yah, search diligently for him, and long for him as your most essential need, so that you may live. He will rush down like a devouring fire, O house of Joseph, and there will be no one to quench the flame for the idolatrous Bethel, for those shall be consumed who turn justice into wormwood. Bitterness. What is wormwood? Justice. What is justice? The law. And they turn it into what? Wormwood. And cast righteousness down to the earth. Who made the cluster of the stars called the Pleiades and the constellation Orion? Who turns deep darkness into morning and darkens the day into night? Who calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out on the surface of the earth? The Creator Yah is his name. It is he who causes sudden destruction to the flash forth of the strong, so the destruction comes on the fortress. They hate the one who reprimands the uprightness in the court held at the city gate, regarding him as unreasonable, and reject his reprimand. Wasn't that Deborah? They hated her. They hated Ezekiel. They hated what's his name? Isaiah. They hated Jeremiah. They threw Jeremiah in jail. And they detest him who speaks the truth with integrity and honesty. Therefore, because you impose heavy rent on the poor and demand a tribute, food tax on grain from them, though you have built luxurious houses of square stone, don't the preachers do this right now today? You will not live in them. You have plenty beautiful vineyards, but you will not drink their wine. For I know your transgressions are many, and your sins are great, shocking, innumerable. You who distress the righteous and take bribes, and turn away from the poor in the court of the city gates, and deprive them of justice. Ain't that going on right now? Was it no justice, no peace? Therefore he who is prudent and has insight, if you're prudent and you have insight, will keep silent at such corrupt and evil times. For it is an evil time when people will not listen to the truth and disregard those of good character. Didn't he tell us to keep silent to them? If you tell them and they try to argue with you, he says, don't talk to them. Get away from them. I'm trying to tell you what y'all showed me. He says, seek long for and require. good, not evil, that you may live. And so may the Creator, Yah, your authority and power, He's the authority and power of the host of heavens, be with you just as you have said. Hate evil and love good, and establish justice in the court of the city gate. Perhaps the Creator, Yah, the authority and the power of the host, will be gracious to the remnant of Joseph, that is, those who remain after the Creator's, Yah's judgment. Before, now this, y'all realize this is the end, right? Therefore, thus says the Creator, Yah, the power, the authority of the host. He is the authority. There is wailing in all the public plazas and in all the streets. They say, alas, alas, and they call the farmers in the morning for those who have died, and professional mourners to wail. And in all the vineyards there is wailing, for I will pass through your midst in judgment, says the Creator, Yah. Woe, judgment is coming to you who desire the day of the Creator, Yah, expecting rescue from the Gentiles. He says, see, y'all even know what you're reading. Now, I've been trying to tell y'all. He said, you're going to be expecting rescue from the Gentiles. Let me tell you something right now. This is a precept right here for Malachi 3 and a precept for Micah 7. Because you're going to be expecting rescue. And you're going to be looking perplexed. And then you're going to be like, he said, who will survive? He said, it is darkness, judgment, and not light. And rescue, and not light, not rescue, and not prosperity. Y'all don't even know precepts. It is as if a man runs from a lion and escapes one danger and a bear and meets him, so he dies anyway. Why? Because you're over here running from JC. He's dead, you know who the lion is. JC is the lion. If you know who he's talking about, JC, you ran from JC and you ran over here, and now you ran in the hand of the bear. You still in Rome, baby. You know who Rome is? Rome is represented by the bear. What did they do? They done added in they wicked precepts. And you're going to die anyway. Or goes home and leans with his hand against the wall, and then the snakes bite him. Because the snake done bit you. Because they done slid in all these things. What did they slid in there? They slid in the Aleph Lamed, and they slid in there the Aleph Dalet. And you're going to be sitting here thinking you finna get saved. And you supposed to be saying the Aleph Tav. Will not the day of the Creator Yah be darkness instead of light, even very dark, with no brightness in it? I hate and I despise and reject your sacred feasts, and I do not take delight in your solemn assemblies. Why? Because you over here calling him out his name. You're blaspheming him. You're lying on him. Saying he did this and did that, and he said it was okay, and that you ain't did none of that. Y'all had nothing to do with that. That was y'all own wicked ways. It's in Isaiah. You were over here practicing wicked laws and wicked things that Yah never told us to do. Even though you offer me your burnt offerings and your grain offerings, I would not accept them. I would not even look at the peace offerings of your fattened animals. Take the noise of your songs away from me. They are an irritation. I shall not even listen to the melody of your heart. But you let justice run down like water, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream flow abundant. Did you bring me sacrifices and grain offerings during the 40 years in the wilderness, O house of Israel? It says, certainly not. I already told you it said no, because I have already read it. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. You carried along your king Sitko and Kion, your man-made gods of Saturn, your images of your star god. Star god, what we talk about stars is, them demons, which you made yourselves, but you brought me none of the appointed sacrifices. Therefore, I will send you into the exile far beyond Damascus, says the Creator Yah, whose name is the Creator Yah, the power of the host of heavens. Do you see that? He says, you certainly did not. This is why he had me read the Amplified version before I read that, because I knew his answers. And it says, certainly not. He said, you didn't bring me that. That wasn't mine. And I just showed you over there. He told you in the witness desk that when y'all did that, y'all were provoking him. Y'all blaspheme his name every day. You lie on him saying he did stuff that he did not do. And you need to wake up. Because he says, I'm going to show you again right here. He says right here that you're going to be expected rescue from the Gentiles. And he says, it will not light, and not rescue, and not prosperity. It is darkness, judgment, and not light. Because you're doing stuff that you ain't supposed to do. But that's your ass. If you want to do it, because he told me to let my people know that follow him. Don't be arguing with them mofos. Don't be arguing with them. They don't want to do it. Don't argue with them. Let them go on do it. Go on do it, Cletus. Go on do it. But you're going to find out the hard way. You're going to be perplexed. Let's go to Micah 7. You're going to be perplexed, baby. You're going to be perplexed. This is why he had me read this verse. Tell you what y'all showed me. You're going to be perplexed. Woe is me. Judgment is coming, for I am like one who gathers the summer fruits, like one who gleans the vintage grapes. There is not a cluster of grapes to eat, no first ripe figs which my appetite craves. The Toraless person who is faithful and loyal to the great, the Torah person, I'm trying to say it, not the Toralist, the Torah person who is faithful and loyal to the Creator Yah, the one who follows the Torah, and we're not putting that G-O-D there, the one who follows the Torah, who is faithful to the Creator Yah, loyal to the Creator Yah, has perished from the earth, and there is no upright person, one with good character and moral integrity among men. They all lie in wait to shed blood. Each hunts the other with a net. Concerning evil, both of their hands pursue it and do it diligently and thoroughly. The prince asks also the judge for a bribe, and a great man speaks the evil desire of his soul. So they twist the course of justice. What is justice? That's the law. Yah is the one who teaches justice between them. The best of them is injurious like a briar. The most upright is prickly like a thorn hedge. In the day of their watchmen, that is, the time predicted by the prophets, or your punishment comes. And now shall be their confusion. They're going to be confused, just like he said there. They're going to think they're going to get rescued, and you're going to be sitting there and be confused. It's prickly. On the day of your judgment, none shall be. I was finna read something else, and then I lost my train of thought, y'all. The evil desire, twist and chorus. Hold on, let me try to remember the next precept I was finna go to. Y'all said, I have not spoken secret or in a corner of a land in darkness. I did not say to Jacob's descendants of Jacob, seek me in vain with no benefit for yourself. I, the Creator Yah, speak righteousness, the truth, trustworthy, and straightforward correlations between the deeds and the words, declaring things that are upright. He's the one that teaches judgment. He's the one that teaches judgment. And justice, Yah's the one that teaches justice. And y'all over here are doing all this stuff. And he said, it shall be said of me, only in the Creator Yah are righteousness and strength. To him people will come, and all who were angry at him will be put to shame. And in the Creator Yah, all the offspring of Israel will be justified, declared free of guilt, and will glory in the Creator Yah. Now, Y'all need to pray about this. Seek him with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. Give him all the praise, all the glory, and all the esteem. All praises to Creator Yah and him alone. Hallelujah.